Hey guys, Game here, welcome to another video. Now today we are doing one of my most complicated solo guides up to this point. We are going to be soloing normal Halls of Valor. So I think what I'm going to do is just clear the trash and then just do a walkthrough of any trash that might be deadly or might be difficult. So the main mob that you'll be facing that will cause some problems is Valor Thundercaller. Now obviously he's not here because I killed him, but he should spawn roughly about here, and he'll do a hard-hitting, I guess Thunderbolt, which will hit, and he will put out a debuff which causes you to take an explosion of lightning damage, I guess, after a few seconds. Now you'll come up to a pack of 5 mobs, 2 like melee guys, 2 Thundercallers and 1 Stormdrake. Now this Stormdrake cannot be stunned or feared, so this is the one you want to focus down first, and this is the part where you'd want to have pretty good healing. Obviously I could do this as Fury or Arms, but I just don't have the Manos Bloodletting Manacles, because yeah, if I have that I'll be able to, that'll be an extreme help with my solo guides. But anyway, let's move on to Hymdall. So I was able to do some of this instance as Fury, but not all of it. So Hymdall was my first boss that I could not do as Fury, because obviously he does the spinning blade and it does a crap ton of damage, and second of all he does that what is it called? It's like a sweep or something. Yeah, it'll pop up again, and his melee hits are pretty hard. See, it did 100k before, but obviously I've got some defense here. Bloodletting Sweep, that's it, and it's just a hard hitting melee attack. And also, so if it might be a little bit slow or laggy, there'll be Stormdrakes that'll be coming around to like breathe thunder on the ground, and the longer you fight the boss, the more Stormdrakes, the more Stormdrakes will spawn. So the first time it'll be just 2, the second time it'll be, the first time it'll be 1, the second time it'll be 2, and then so on. It will just keep increasing until either you die or the boss gives up. But that is pretty much it. Actually, let me go over what I'm using. So as Fury, I would use CNR Charger and Ayala Stoneheart. Maybe for trash you could use something like Nazgentis Vertebrate, which is pretty strong, comboed with the Wrecking Ball talent, which makes it so your Whirlwind does, or your Whirlwind has a chance to do extra damage, like 250% increased damage. What else? You could use Timeless Stratagem just to have more heroic leap, so you can charge out then charge back in just for more rage, as you see I just did right now. And what other legendaries do I have? And yeah, so Killjane's Burning Wish might be a good option, but I would recommend not to. For prots, I'm using the Wall's Fells. So Shield Slam generates an additional 2 rage and reduces the remaining cooldown of Shield Wall by 4 seconds. Now this is really good, because if you combo it with the God, everything's up at the same place. If you have Devastator, that can reset the cooldown of your Shield Slam pretty quickly and pretty efficiently. So if you have that, I would recommend it. But yeah, and also this fight you do really want to avoid getting hit by the dragons, because they actually do hit even as a tank. But imagine if you're someone like a Blood DK or a Vengeance Demon Hunter, someone that has like a lot of self heals, or maybe a prop pally, this fight would be really good. But other than that, I'll just kill the boss and we will move on to the next trash fights. Come on, there we go. Okay, well I guess I can point out the first mob that will be a problem is this guy, the Stormforge Sentinel. So basically he's immune to CC, he's immune to stuns, fears, etc. So he'll do a shield where you have to just have to break through, and then you just got to deal with the damage. However, this mob is skippable, but there'll be 2 of these guys up there at the gate when you have to go to God King Skovald and eventually Odin. But yeah, I'll just clear the trash and see where we go from there. So the next boss we'll be looking at is Hyrja, and this is one that you do not need a tank for. Well, at least for Fury Warrior you don't. You just need this Oath Blood. Bloodthirst has a 50% chance to trigger a second Bloodthirst. So basically, Bloodthirst has a 50% chance to heal you for 8% of your max health instead of 4. But let me just run over the trash. I don't think there's any deadly... Oh, there was a pack of 6 mobs out front, or at the entrance of the mid hall, I guess. And you can go DPS if you want, but 100% you are not going to survive it. So, or you could like kill as many as you can and die, then go back and finish them off, or switch to tank and handle them all in one go. But up to this point, the trash shouldn't be too much of a problem. We have Solston, who does the normal Eye of the Storm and the Arcing Bolt, which doesn't do that much damage. Then we have Olmir the Enlightened, who does do the Sanctify, which you'll need to move out of melee range, otherwise you won't get hit by the low res animations now. Like, I don't know what's... No, actually you might see in the boss fight. He also does Searing Light, which is interruptible, but doesn't do that much damage. But it would be nice for you to interrupt it every now and then, because he does it quite frequently. It just removes like 2% of your max health, at least that's what I saw. Ah, I'm retarded. Alright, so you want to pull Hyrja over here to the lightning side, so she'll do her Eye of the Storm. And basically, why do you want to be on this side? It's because you're melee, and see, Oathblood procced. Basically, you want Hyrja to cast Eye of the Storm as much as possible, because if you're on the light side and she casts Sanctify, then you're not going to get as much damage out on the boss as you normally would. But yeah, I don't think there's any major issues with Hyrja. You just need a good bit of healing. I know Arms Warriors aren't particularly that good at it, but they do have a trait where your abilities have a 1% chance to heal you for a certain amount per 1 rage spent. So if you do like a mortal, if you do rend, oh, I'm gonna die. If you do rend, which is 30 rage, that's like I don't know how much healing that'll be if that procs. But yeah, I just use my Enrage Regeneration. I just use all my cooldowns again. I'll have to wait for Battle Royale to come up before I can use that with Draw the Souls. It's a massive DPS combo. But as you can see, I'm at 80% health. The boss is at 23% health. You really do not need to be tanking this. If you're, or I'd say, if you're any other class, oh, I'm probably gonna die here. Actually, yeah, you don't want to keep Thingamy over here forever. Actually, I didn't pay attention to that. But yeah, so gives you a chance to move out. Actually, this is actually a benefit of moving over here. See, it's the Sanctify is very hard to see. Oh, I could die. I could die. Come on. Ah. Okay, one moment. Don't worry, guys. I did it. I think what I did wrong is for the Sanctify, I was backed up into the corner, so I couldn't really see the Sanctify bolts come out. But I think that's Blizzard's fault for making the Sanctify bolts hard to see. I don't know why they did that. Might have been a bug. But just some tips, or just a tip for the bosses: never pull them unless if you're max health, because you will want to be at max health for the bosses, unless if you're like me, or say I'm at 90%, I charge in with the Furious Charge talent, and I heal myself for a little bit. But that's all I can think of. I'll run through my talents and my legendaries for Fury, or once this video is finished, but I'm just gonna clear everything up to Fenryr. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and pull the boss. So the next boss we'll be looking at is Fenryr. There weren't any deadly trash in these fields, I guess. Like, most of it was skippable, and yeah, it's not something you really need to worry about. Okay, so Fenryr is one that you definitely need to tank this for. So he does this Scent of Blood, so he does a fixate. I'll just use my cooldowns there. And he fixates on you, and he does a large amount of damage. However, if you're a tank, you can pretty much survive this no problem. And then there'll be another ability that will come up. I'll show you. It's not this. I don't even know what this does. Oh, okay. It's more of a spellcasting thing. Okay. Here we go. Ravenous Leap, I think. Yeah. So, how Ravenous Leap works is he will jump to the party members and just deal permanent, what do you call it? Permanent ticking damage. But he never casts this on a tank. So if you're a tank, the thing doesn't, just straight up doesn't work. So basically this boss does nothing. He does nothing at all. He just does melee attacks and the Scent of Blood, which you could use, which what is it? You could just use a defensive cooldown. You won't need to, just use your mitigation, like for Death Knights, Death Strike, for Warriors, Shield Block, or maybe Shield Wall combined with the, oh, I don't even have my things on, combined with the Walls Fell, Legendary, or just basically anything that'll reduce your damage taken. Physical damage, not magical damage, not like magical wards or anything. So that is basically Fenryr. So you just fight him in two parts, 100% to 60%, and then 60% to dead. So on the way to God King Skovald, there will be two of those like blue sentinel guys that you will have to deal with at the same time. So what you want to do is you want to bring them up. Oh, hold on, I'll show you once I get there. They are here. Actually, more importantly, if there's a world quest in here and you have to fight a world quest boss, you can DPS it or you can tank it. If you're going to DPS it, just pop literally everything and just burst down the boss as quickly as you can. However, on some cases that hasn't worked, like was it that bear and where the Fenryr area is, I could not DPS it. I had to tank that. But yeah. These mobs, Stormforge Sentinels, what they'll do is they'll do a crackle, so they'll just do a line of lightning that'll deal damage to you if you stand in it. They do a charged pulse, I think, which does a knockback and deals some more damage, and sometimes they do a shield on themselves, so they'll basically absorb damage until their damage has been absorbed. So you just need to DPS them down. They shouldn't be too much of a big deal to worry about, but yeah, so I think we'll just go over the King's order. So you'd want to do I believe Ranulf first, like King Ranulf, yeah, I guess. Then I'd say King Bjorn first, or yeah, Bjorn first, and then Haldor and Tor at the same time, because Haldor has a buff, so makes it his attacks increases the amount of physical damage you take by 20%, which stacks. So that's going to be really deadly for you. I'm just going to tank this. So each like king has a buff. So this one just deals damage, just deals area damage. Yeah, that's basically it. And once he dies, it'll carry on to the next king. Oh, it's interruptible. Okay, I didn't know that. The next one is Bjorn, which will throw a dagger, I believe. Oh, and reduce healing by 50%. Okay, so yeah, that's gonna be pretty deadly as a DPS. Probably not as a tank. Probably not as a prot warrior, because you don't receive that much healing by yourself anyway. You just, it's not about defensives like I guess Prop Halley and maybe Guardian Druid and Brewmaster Monk. And then Tor does... oh, he calls out an Ancestor, which is basically just a killable ad, and if it reaches any of the kings, it'll heal them for like 5 or 10%. So, as a prop warrior, you can Shockwave this, or you can Stormbolt this. I just went with Shockwave, just because I thought it would be a lot easier. So once all these kings are down, I should stop doing that. Well, I'll get to King Skovald once all these guys are down. I thought I'd just show you guys this. To avoid the Honoured Ancestors getting to the boss, because they cannot be CC'd, instead of just spamming like Heroic Throw or whatever, you just kite the bosses around, because the Honoured Ancestors themselves don't gain like a a speed buff as the longer you're chasing them, kind of like Karam Mage Spear from the Mage Tower challenge or whatever. So yeah, you can do that. I was able to DPS one of the kings down like by themselves, but I would not recommend DPSing the two, since they will hurt. Especially both of them will be casting that yell or something like that, I don't know. Alright, so the next boss is King Skovald. So this is a boss you can just DPS, because not really that much damage is going to go out on him anyway. So once he casts Ragnarok, you'd want to pop the shield so you don't get any damage taken, and give you a bit of a chance to get some of your health back. You can cast abilities, or you can do abilities while you cast the shield, but you cannot use spells. Well, you can use spells, it's just it'll interrupt the shield, because the shield has a 15 second cooldown on it. So yeah, just pop your cooldowns whenever they become available. I do have some potions if I need to as well. I also bring in some food, because the trash just destroys me. I'm going to use my cooldowns, healing cooldowns soon. Well, I just do it now. I'm also going to use Commanding Shout. So I'm guessing he'll cast Ragnarok soon, so I'll be able to get some of my health back. He does a Fellblaze charge, which basically charges to you and just deals some damage. It's a decent amount of damage, but it's nothing too lethal. But the Savage Blade would be something to watch out for, because that is supposed to be like a tanking mechanic. So he's going to do the shield again. I should be able to kill him. So every second that he does Ragnarok, he's just going to cast some pools of green goo, I guess, or green fell on the ground, and you just want to avoid them, just to prevent any damage going out. So I'll just wait for Odin to do his RP, then we'll talk about Odin. So I just had to feed up before we do Odin, since he does have quite a bit of health, and his melee attacks do kind of hurt. So one of his abilities, he'll do Radiant Tempest, so he'll just do... it's basically a one-shot if you're standing in it. And if you just have a quick reaction time, you can actually move out of it without having to use any any speed. Was it increases, I guess? But yeah, but if you do feel like you're not going to make it, you can just use whatever you've got. So for warriors, you could just use Heroic Leap or something like that. Or if you have Agma Stride, pop Battle Cry, and it'll increase your movement speed by is it 75%? Yeah. So this is the part where you want to use all your cooldowns. So when the runes pop up, you want to move to your rune as quickly as possible, because it'll give you a damage buff, a healing increase buff, and a movement speed buff. So this is where your cooldowns want to come in. So I just pop Battle Cry, Draw to Souls, and then straight after that I'll just use a Rampage and Odin's Fury. Pop my second trinket if you have it. If you don't, that's okay. So yeah, I just basically need to kill him before... I just need to end the fight, realistically, before he kills me, because my cooldowns... well, my Enrage Regeneration is on cooldown anyway. I don't think there's really that much to it. So basically just after you've popped your runic brand, you just kill him as quickly as possible again before he kills you. Oh, another thing's gone off. So yeah, I'll be good because I'll be healed to full and I'll get a damage buff as well. I'll just kill the boss since he should be, yeah, he's push over now. But anyway guys, that is it. That is how you solo normal Halls of Valor. This is in my opinion, this is the most difficult one to solo. So you will need to have like bring a class that has a tanking spec. Actually, yeah, let me go over the talents first before I end the video. So I go with War Machine, Double Time, Wrecking Ball. Sometimes you want to go with Avatar, but I just go with Wrecking Ball. Furious Charge. Now the reason why you want to go Furious Charge is because Bounding Stride won't help you that much, whereas if you Heroic Leap out and then charge back into the boss using Charge, your Bloodthirst will heal you for 300% more health, so that'll be like 12%, I guess. Realistically, you could go with any of these three. I just went with Rocking Berserker, even though that might not be the best choice. Usually I would go with Carnage, because I felt like you can get a lot more rampages out of the boss if you have this. And also, if you have a Yellow Stone Heart, then maybe this would come into effect, but definitely not for Odin, since you don't get into the execute phase. This might be good for something like Wrath of Hyrja or something like that. And I think I said this before, the legendaries I'm using for Fury is CNN Charger and a Yellow Stone Heart. Having Draw to Souls, even though it has been nerfed, is a huge help. And also I've just like 905 Trinket that basically increases my strength by 5188, which increases my damage. So the legendaries I use for Prot is the Walls Fell, which I discussed before, and Sifuz's Secret. So it just gives me a little bit of haste on cooldown. The talents I use for Prot, generally I go with Shockwave. I don't feel like Stormbolt is really that good, it just deals a tiny bit of damage. Plus Shockwave will be good for like trash packs or something like that. I'd say you could go for any of these. Oh, actually no, I'd just go with Inspiring Presence. You could go with any of these because yeah, they're basically good. This one will be good because I say that a lot because you're going to be using Ignore Pain a lot if you've comboed up with Devastator. So more Shield Slams, more Ignore Pain, more Renewed Fury, more damage. For this one, you could go with any of these, doesn't really matter. I just chose Bounding Stride, just because, you know, why not. Devastate is also a really good talent to have. I've just been using that a lot. I don't really like using Devastate. Is it Devastate? Yeah. Because I want to use Shield Slam as much as I can. Excuse me. So I can just do Ignore Pain, which will reduce the amount of damage I take. You could go with any of these. Well, you could go with any of these three, basically. I mean, they're all good, but they're not bad, but they're not... How do I word it? They're not that bad to go for if you go either way. However, if you are going with Devastator, I would recommend going with Vengeance as well. You could go with... Well, if you have the ring, the Soul of the Battlelord, I think, it gives you this talent, so you could maybe go with Into the Fray, or maybe Demoralizing Shout. Actually, Demoralizing Shout would be good if you have the Thunderlord's Vigor, because I think it's each enemy hits by Thunderclap reduces the cooldown on Demoralizing Shout by 4 seconds, I believe. So correct me if wrong. And Anger Management, hands down the best 100 talent to go for, because you'd want to use Battlecry a lot, and you could just basically get its cooldown like reset really quickly if you're comboed with these two talents. Basically, that's pretty much all I got. So thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and see ya.